Hello and welcome to www.markisrael.com. I am Mark Israel and I thank you for logging onto my website and signing up to take my nuts and bolts of title insurance class. Before we get into the substance of the class, I just want to explain to you a little bit about how this program works, how you get your CLE certificate. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to speak for approximately 3 hours. The program is a 3-credit class. At the end of the 3 hours, there'll be a series of screens and prompts where you'll be providing some information to us. And at the end of those screens, you'll be able to download and print out your CLE certificate. During the course of the program, a number of times I'm going to tell you a secret code. These codes are going to be required at the end of the program for you to be able to get your CLE certificates. Basically what's going to happen is, as I said a number of times, I'm going to say these code numbers. Please make sure that you write them down. Please pay attention, because at the end of the program, as I explained, you're going to get some prompts that are going to require you to input these codes into the computer, and if you input them correctly, you get your CLE certificate. If you're missing the codes or miss the numbers, you're going to have to go all the way back and start all over again. As much as I think you enjoy watching me speak twice, you probably only want to go through it once. The class, as I said, is the nuts and bolts of title insurance. I'll just give you a little bit of my background just so you get a sense of who I am and why I'm teaching this class. So I'm an attorney. I got out of law school, went to Duke Law School, got out in 1987, started my legal career with the firm of Milbank Tweed, big, very large firm in Lower Manhattan. I spent a number of years at a couple of medium-sized firms in Manhattan, 75, 80 lawyer type firms, a firm called Backner Talley, another firm called Olshan Grunman, and then for many years I had my own practice, Mark Israel and Associates. For many of those years, my only associates were the computer and the telephone. Nonetheless, I called it Mark Israel and Associates, and at times I actually had real associates working for me as well. Late 2004, I got into the title business, and I've been in the title business since late 2004 as an executive. So I'm since 1987, both a practicing real estate attorney and on the title end of things, touched on a lot of title issues, both residential and commercial, big deals and small, from the buyer's end, seller's end, bank end, and now obviously for a number of years on the title insurance end. So I have sort of a pretty varied background and have touched on a lot of the issues that we're going to talk about today. What I'm going to do is teach this class in a very nuts and bolts sort of a way, thus the title, the nuts and bolts of title insurance. I try hard to make sure that if you're somebody watching this program who's never done a real estate deal, who just got out of law school, or perhaps is transitioning at some point in your career to start to do real estate, to start and do residential or commercial closings, that you can take this program and really learn title insurance from the ground up. For those of you who might be watching it who have as much experience as me or 10 times more experience than me, it's a nice refresher type of a program that'll take you back to the basics and the foundational type of stuff. And I also try and build on it so hopefully everybody can pick something up from it. So having said that, let's start at the very, very basic, at the very, very basic premise. What is title insurance? And I'll tell you, a number of years ago, I was asked by a successful New York City real estate broker to write an article for a newsletter that she has. And this newsletter went out to thousands of people, but not to lawyers. It went out to buyers. It went out to sort of laymen, so to speak. And she wanted me to write an article on what title insurance was all about. Again, not from a lawyer's perspective, but from the actual person sitting at the closing table who's going to pay that title bill. So I called the name of the title that I came up for the article was "What the Heck is Title Insurance and Why is it so darn expensive?" And I think when it comes to your client, not you who's watching this program, but your client who's really buying the house,